Hey, everybody, and welcome to the True Crime Squad. This is Katie Weaver. I'm here with my sister, co host, and partner in crime, Christy Brower. Hello.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
How's it going?
It is going well. It is going very well.
It's November
I,
1st.
it's November 1st, you guys. I saw a comedian, a British comedian today, who does a whole bit about how we all spend all of November going, can you believe it's already November? And I mean, I've already said it like 3 times today. And I was like, yeah, we do that.
hmm
It seems like it rushes up every year,
Right. It
but it
does
actually
come.
takes exactly the same amount of time every year. So not really,
Well,
but it
either
is
way,
November 1st.
it is. Here we are. Yeah. Well, and we hope that you guys had a fun Halloween for those that celebrate. We went to our sister Kara's house because she's the only one amongst us that gets trick or treaters.
Yes.
So we usually go there. So we went and had dinner and played a game and just, had fun. As we were
We
all
did.
leaving to go home to go to bed, because of our
Yes.
oldness and all, the younger set were all climbing in their cars to go to a party.
It was very funny. It was like, wow, we are definitely the older generation in our family now because,
hmm
yeah, we were like, it's 8 o'clock. We got to go home to bed or whatever time it was, 9 o'clock. And these kids are like, well, this party's just barely getting started. Yeah. Yeah.
We were
Okay.
like,
No.
by the time you get your costumes on and get ready, that party will be over. And they're like, it goes till 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We're the old ladies of the bunch. So
Oh my
we went
gosh.
home to bed while they went out to a party. Yep.
hmm For sure. And it was just fine. That was fine with me.
Yeah, it was fine with me as well. No, the late night partying days of my life, they're over.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you. I mean, maybe on a special occasion, but Halloween during the school week or work week is not special enough
No.
for me.
Tuesday night? No. Mm-mm.
I mean, I love Halloween and everything about it and the lead up to it, but yeah, no way. But
Yeah, me too, but ugh, no.
yeah,
That sounds terrible to stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning.
for sure.
Hmm.
But it is our Wednesday episode.
Yes, it
We are
is.
going to be back here at 7 p.m. Mountain for our case updates, Wednesday night case updates. There's a bunch going
Mhm.
on, particularly the trial of Caitlin Armstrong has finally
Yes.
started, and that's kind of started with a
Finally.
bang. So,
Yes,
yeah,
it
we'll
has.
be here talking about it. But
Mhm.
in the meantime, we have a jam packed episode for you here. So, Christy, I know that you are going to kick us off with some creepy crime.
Oh, yes, I am. Well, a Halloween murder from 41 years ago has been solved.
Wow.
I know, right? This is the murder of Clifford Smith. Let me show you a picture. This is Clifford here in black and white.
Whew.
And this very attractive sack of moldy mayonnaise, I don't even know what to call him, is Ronald Jack Anderson. And it turns out Ronald Jack Anderson killed Clifford Smith all those
Wow.
years ago in 1982.
Oh my gosh.
And investigators, being, I don't know, the kings and queens of irony, arrested him on Halloween of
I'm
this
here
year.
for it.
So,
Yep.
yesterday.
hmm
I know, I think it's kind of awesome. So, Clifford's case went cold as soon as it happened.
Mm.
He was shot in the head and left along the White River in rural Indiana in the early morning hours of October 31st of 1982.
hmm
His wife reported him missing 4 days later, but his body wasn't actually found until December 1st. No arrests have ever been made in this case.
hmm
And this case has just sort of passed around as a cold case to various state police detectives for 40 years.
Oh my gosh.
right? And they just really, I don't know. I'm still pretty confused. They're keeping it pretty close about how this has actually come together, but there are a few things that we know.
Mhm.
Um, so apparently, Clifford Smith and Anderson, the man who is alleged to have murdered him, were
Mhm.
actually hanging out in the same group of people in Seymour, Indiana, on the night that Clifford Smith was murdered.
Okay.
These two men actually left this gathering together around midnight. And what police believe now is that um, Anderson, when they left, took a shotgun from the house
Mhm.
and loaded it. So what I am getting reading in between the lines about this is that they've finally managed to get some people to tell them what they know,
Mhm.
because this is not a DNA for the win case. This is not a new technology case. This is literally detective work that has taken 41 years, which is
Yeah.
pretty wild. It's
Mhm.
pretty wild that anybody was still even working on it, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it is.
So investigators believe that Anderson shot Smith that in in the early morning hours of Halloween of 1982,
Mhm.
and that they have determined that he did in fact die from a gunshot wound to the head.
Wow.
Now they know now that Anderson actually took that shotgun that he took from the residence in this little town in Indiana, and he returned it to that house
Mhm.
within a few days of killing Smith. So it wasn't his house, wasn't his gun, weirdly.
Wow.
They also believe that he actually returned to the scene later, Anderson did, to remove other evidence,
Oh.
and then just went on with life as though nothing had happened. And then they didn't find Smith's body for a month,
Oh.
right?
God,
So
this
the
guy's poor
investigator,
family.
I know that he's missing all that time and then found dead with absolutely nothing to
Mhm.
go off from. So investigators said there was really no one big break in the case, that they have been slowly grinding through re-interviewing witnesses and re-examining evidence
Mhm.
and have found this. They just it's crazy.
Wow.
So now of course they're also, helping Smith's family who,
Yeah. I've just
never
wondered for 40 years now who
what's
murdered him.
happened. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, they said we could not let another anniversary of Clifford's death go by without giving his family answers to what they've dealt with for decades. So, unironically, then they arrested him on the same day, on the anniversary that they believe of Clifford Smith's death. So, I just think it's kind of
That is
amazing
wild. And this fool's been going on for 40 years thinking that he got away with
that
this.
he got away with it. He's 61 now. So he was 20 years old when he killed him. We do not know what the
Wow.
motive is. There's still a lot we don't know, and I'm sure we will. Anderson hasn't even made his first court date yet or anything, so we'll learn more as we go along.
Any
Um,
ideas of his criminal history or if he has one?
no, nothing yet. This is
Wow.
so very new, but I just thought it was really interesting, and I just love that they solved this and they arrested him on the 41st anniversary of his death. I think it's kind of cool. Um, And I have to really appreciate that there are police departments out there all over the United States with police officers like this that will doggedly investigate something as cold as Clifford Smith's case
Yeah.
right down to a resolution.
Mhm.
You
Yep.
got to
Good
credit where
on
credit's
them.
due. That's pretty amazing.
It is. It
So
is.
if we learn more about this and about the perpetrator, I will keep you updated.
Mhm.
But it's cool news. I'm glad. I'm
Yes, it
glad for
is.
his family.
Yeah, joy for Clifford's family, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, at least to start to get some closure. Also, obviously Anderson needs to get the hell off the street. This guy, what else has he done in the last 40 years?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Good question.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll be looking and his DNA will go into the system and fingerprints and all that stuff, and maybe there'll be other things. We don't know, but
Could
just
be.
kind of had to give credit where credit was due to the
Mhm.
Indiana State Police for cracking this finally.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm going to kick the mic back to you for our main case.
Okay. Well, we must be operating on a similar vein today because
Oh,
the case also is an older case that has finally had an arrest, though not 40 years
oh,
old, just 7. But
well, that's
7
old
very
enough. Wow.
long years for the family of the victim. This
Yeah.
is Marina Placensia.
Okay.
And Marina Placensia was living in Racine, Wisconsin back in 2016. And with her 4 children and her boyfriend, he was the father of 3 of those children.
Okay.
And Marina was a terribly battered woman.
No.
And everybody knew. The
Hmm.
neighbors had called the police many times. Her aunt had intervened multiple times. She had been hospitalized multiple times.
Oh, wow.
And in fact, Angelo Mantych, her boyfriend, had even gone to jail for 100 days for battering her.
Oh, wow.
It was bad.
I
And,
mean, isn't he like suspect number one?
well, you'd think so. So
Hmm.
Marina made a plan with her family. Angelo had told her if she tried to leave him, he would kill her.
Hmm.
Uh, One of the neighbors recounted a time where he held one of their babies over the balcony of their apartment and told
Oh, my
her
God.
that if she didn't do what he said, the baby would go.
Oh, my God.
Mhm.
Oh, that's terrifying.
The other children also had reported being beat by him. The neighbors said that he was beating the shit out of her and the kids every day. Uh, so her family lived in Denver, and they had made a plan with her that she was going to move to Denver. And when she got there, she and the kids were going to go straight to her mother's house, and she was going to file for a protective order and for divorce and try to get away from him. And that way she'd be in the care of her family, and hopefully that would help, help her to be able to do so and stay alive.
For sure.
So neighbors reported that as they were packing up and getting ready to move, because of course she couldn't leave without him, he was going too.
Mm,
Uh, there was all kinds of abuse and nonsense happening outside of the apartment. In
boy.
fact, let's see, I have about 1,000 articles open about this. Every article has a little bit in it that is different than the others. This is a really new filing, and so I'm doing the best I can to get as much information as possible.
Sure.
At any rate, neighbors said as they were moving, he was throwing furniture off of the balcony, screaming at the kids, screaming at her, calling her, uh, see you next Tuesday and a dumb bitch and
Mm,
to hurry up and screaming at the kids. And it was just honestly business as usual, apparently. Uh, he also, in March of 2015, he was charged in a violent sexual assault of someone else.
wow.
And, oh, sorry, that's a different, no, this was somewhere around 2015, not March, sorry. He was charged with a violent sexual assault in Colorado of a different person.
My
And
God.
that case was moving along until she quit cooperating and it eventually was dropped.
Oh, no.
In March of 2015, they were watching TV and Angelo got upset about the race of one of the characters on the TV and used that as a reason to start accusing her of cheating on him or wanting to cheat on him
Oh, my God.
and hit her so hard that she lost her hearing in one of her ears permanently.
Oh, shit. Whoa.
Yeah. So there's a really bad history here, right? So they get on the Amtrak. So it is Marina and Angelo and all 4 kids on the Amtrak headed for Denver. So they leave from Wisconsin and they go to Chicago and move to a different train and they head to Colorado. And when they get to Denver, Angelo gets off of the Amtrak with his four children, and Marina stays slumped in her seat, completely unresponsive.
Oh, no.
Angelo's on the platform crying, vomiting, very upset. Of course, emergency services are called. They try uh, to help her, but she dies. She essentially was already dead when they got there.
Oh,
She obviously has a lot of injuries. She has 35 injuries to her body,
oh my God.
multiple broken ribs, uh, lots of blunt force trauma type injuries. Uh, the autopsy says a bruise to the right cheek, bruises around her mouth and face, bruises on her thighs and calves, bruises on her upper body and the right side of her abdomen, as well as fractured ribs. There was also quite a lot of blood in her abdominal region.
Oh my God.
Okay. So he
How did she
tells,
even get on the train like that?
right? People on the train said they didn't see anything. They didn't see them having any kind of a scuffle or any issue and didn't know what had happened to her. He said she just took a nap and just didn't wake back up.
And just appeared with all those injuries? Are you fucking
He,
kidding me?
he told the
What?
police they happened during the move. He said a door hit her on the shoulder when they were moving furniture. He said that she was carrying a box when a door hit her in the face. He said that the 2-year-old daughter scratched her face. Yeah.
What?
So the manner of
35 injuries from moving? Yeah, I don't know.
right. That that seems like not what happens. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So her body of course is taken to the morgue and her poor brother was there at the station to get her and the kids and try to immediately
Oh
shuttle them
no.
away to mom's house and discovers her dead. And her family is just beside themselves in every way, as you can
Yeah.
imagine.
Uh,
So in the morgue, they do an autopsy and they detail all of these injuries, including the internal bleeding, the broken ribs, all of it. And then they rule her death as undetermined.
what? Like a person could have actually done all of those things to themselves?
Right. And her
No.
family's like, what the hell are you talking about? Undetermined. We know who killed her. It's obviously, what happened
Right.
to her, but nothing. So they've been
What the
pushing
hell?
for years to get some justice. However, CPS pretty much immediately recognized that Angelo is not a safe person to have around children, and all four of the kids were put in protective foster care, and it is believed that they are still in protective foster care
Holy
uh,
crap.
up to this point. Now, this was 7 years ago.
I mean, what the hell, police?
hmm
This is like
So,
Ellen Greenberg all over again.
it's just unbelievable that this could go on this long. Yeah.
Wow.
So, recently, earlier this year, her autopsy was put in front of an expert. That expert being, let's see. I'm afraid I've lost it. Let me make sure I can tell you because it was put in front of an expert who he was one of the expert witnesses in George Floyd. And
Oh, okay.
and I can't believe I can't find his name. His specialty is asphyxiation and strangulation.
Okay.
And he determined that her death was indeed caused by asphyxiation. So
Okay.
that was his expert opinion on the matter. And so that went to the police. And then, of course, the police, started diving deeper into it and deciding that, oh, okay, then maybe this was a murder. And finally, just in October, finally, I've arrested him.
Why did it take 7 years to determine that?
It took a
I do not understand.
Oh, Dr. Bill Smock. Sorry about that. Dr. Bill Smock. And Bill Smock, yes,
Okay.
testified in George Floyd, testified against the officers that had murdered George Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. So he takes a look at it. He says this is homicide. This is asphyxiation. He said that basically it appears now, sorry, that she was like suffocated over the nose and mouth. Remember all the bruising around her mouth and face? Yeah,
Well, and
that's
with
what
all of those
really
injuries to
happened.
the rest of her body, how could she possibly have fought back if he was just pinning her and covering her mouth? She
Right.
probably just didn't physically have the ability
She
to
had
even
broken
fight him.
ribs. Yeah, there was no fighting.
Oh
Sure,
my God.
sure. So all of these years, her family has been waiting for justice and wanting to know what the hell is going on here. But
Right?
finally, so it took an expert in the field taking another hard look at her autopsy, making a declaration about what he believes happened to her, and calling her death a homicide for the police to finally take action. And so, at any rate, he has finally been arrested and charged. So that's the good news and a very frustrating story. But
Right? My
he's been
God. The fact that it took them this long with all of those injuries, how the hell did they think she got those injuries? I mean, come
yeah,
on.
and he's
Jeez.
been living free for 7 years, and this guy is dangerous as hell. Can you imagine what else he's been up to in the last 7 years?
Probably tons of domestic violence against other women
hmm And sexual assault. Clearly,
and
he's not
sexual
above
assault.
that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yep. I'm
What an asshole.
expecting that a lot more information is going to come out about what he has been up to for the last 7 years. But for
But hey,
now,
police in Colorado, good job for giving him 7 more years to offend. What the
hmm
hell?
yeah, I would think this was the kind of guy we would want off the streets. Call me
Wouldn't
crazy.
you think that? Yeah.
Yeah. So, at any rate, justice today for Marina, for her family, for her children, and we will definitely watch this one march through the courts.
Yeah, because this guy needs to go away forever.
Eva.
And
Yep.
also, where's the oversight
hmm
in this situation?
hmm
Why did this take 7 years? It's ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. Especially when you look at all of the evidence that they have, all of the interviews with neighbors and with family members, and the previous domestic violence on record and her trips to the
Right?
hospital. Like, this didn't take a genius to solve.
No.
It
It
shouldn't have
took
taken
someone
an
who
expert
gave a
witness to
flying
solve.
fuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
it could have taken a detective that gave a damn at all
Mhm.
about her.
Yep. Yep.
Clearly, they didn't.
No. So there you have it. So with that, I am going to kick the mic back over to you for some WTF news.
Aren't you, though? I keep saying we need a little bumper for dumb criminals because this is a dumb criminal. This just happened in North Dakota. So, this we're talking about a woman who poisoned her boyfriend with antifreeze just a few short hours after he found out he had inherited $30 million
Oh,
in Minot, North Dakota. And
oh, that's not sus at all. Yeah.
no, right? Not sus at all. This is Thea Kenoyer. This is our genius criminal right here. Here she is with her boyfriend, this poor man who unfortunately lost literally everything. Stephen
Mhm.
Edward Riley Jr. is his name. Um, so I, first of all, I'm just dumbfounded by this because, I mean, it's a horrible thing. She killed him for that money
And poisoning by antifreeze.
hours after finding out.
That's so
Well, what's
terrible.
right? What we're hearing is that he had made a statement to somebody that when he received this money, he was leaving her.
Mhm.
I mean, okay,
She's got crazy eyes, I'll give her that.
she's
Or give
terrifying.
him that. Yeah.
Yeah. So he died on September 5th of this year
Mhm.
in Bismarck. And his autopsy found that he died of ethylene glycol poisoning.
Mhm.
She had apparently made comments about poisoning him with antifreeze to his family before and after his death. I mean, come on, lady. You're just not making it hard for anyone here? Yeah. So apparently, somebody saw her dump some of his stuff outside, and then he started feeling unwell. So I'm not exactly sure if this was dumping his drink or something that belonged to him outside, and then he started feeling sick.
Mhm.
There'd been some tension in the relationship, and they'd been together for 10 years, and he was talking about leaving her.
Mhm.
After he died, Kenoyer tried to tell authorities that she was entitled to part of that 30 million because they are common law married.
Hmm.
Turns out in North Dakota, they don't recognize common law wives, and the
Hmm.
police said when they told her that she was incensed. I mean, this brainiac, okay, did not even make sure that legally that was even true before
Yeah.
she so unnecessarily took this man's life.
My God.
She told the medical staff that he had suffered heat stroke and had been drinking when he got sick, and she took him to the hospital. However, the hospital or the autopsy shows that there was no alcohol in his system, just,
Mhm.
ethylene glycol. There was a Windex window cleaner bottle that had antifreeze in it found in her living room. So, real
Oh.
genius material here.
Mhm.
He was apparently on his way to claim the inheritance when he got sick on September 3rd. Was
Oh.
hospitalized on September 4th and died the next day.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I what the hell? It's horrific for him and his family. And it's also just what a fucking idiot.
Right.
You
So
know? Like
unnecessary and stupid on every level. Yeah.
on every level, take his life because of money that was obviously his. I mean, when we
Mhm.
inherited from our parents, our dad's attorney told us,
Mhm.
when in Idaho, and I don't know if every state's the same, when you inherit, that money is not community property. If you are married,
Mhm.
that money is only yours.
Yeah.
And he just was had the good fortune to inherit a lot of money.
Yeah.
And for that, she killed him. Now she'll go to prison for life. He's gone.
Yeah.
No one, and I guess his family will benefit from that money. But I mean, she blew up her entire life and destroyed somebody else's for
Mhm.
nothing, for money
Very
they didn't even
sad.
get.
Yeah.
Yeah, really sad.
Mhm.
I just like, my God,
Mhm.
dumbest criminal on the planet. Like, it wasn't immediately
Yeah.
her that everyone looked at. Like, I don't know. I mean, in a way, I'm grateful because they caught her quickly, and she's going to go away for a long time. They have tons of evidence against her.
Mhm.
It's just sad. It's really sad that that's what it came down to for her, is that she would
Yeah.
rather steal his money than be left behind for someone who's got money. I mean, I don't know,
Mhm.
just
Well,
gross.
I hope the prison is always cold and she never makes a single friend and that it's
Yes.
absolutely the very worst for the rest of her life.
And the bed bugs inhabit her pubic hair. Yes.
Oh, that too. Okay.
I mean, why not?
Why not? Well, there you have it. Uh, just a quick note that we have launched our merch store
Yes,
as
we
a part
have.
of my Etsy account, and you guys have come up big this week. Wow, I've spent the entire
Yeah.
day making and filling orders, so I'm super excited. But a few
Yeah.
things you've probably been noticing: our tumblers that we're both drinking out of. This is
Mm-hmm.
one design. Christy's got the other, so there's two tumbler designs. But Scott
Mm-hmm.
also just handed me a hoodie that just came off of the embroidery machine, so I wanted to show you.
Oh,
This is one of
nice.
our I don't know if you can see that because I can't see. Is that good?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
really pretty. Yeah, yeah.
That's a
Yeah, and
back
it's
piece.
embroidered. So this is a nice, nice
Oh,
hoodie.
yeah. Super nice. So we're very excited about that. And
This is
there's
my coffee
mugs.
mug.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
See, it says, quite frankly, Your Honor, it's voluminous. If
Mm-hmm.
you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a Pryor's Clutch and Pearls right there, right on the mug.
For sure.
And we all know these are my Clutch and Pearls. I wear them on behalf of John Pryor on our
Mm-hmm.
live streams because if he had them, he'd be clutching them. You can tell by the look
Mm-hmm.
on his face.
He frequently just does anyway. It must be an
Yeah.
air clutch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. He just isn't able to wear the pearls, but I can wear
Mm-hmm.
them for him.
For sure. So we have two different hoodie designs, and there's three different T-shirt designs.
Yeah.
So be sure that you
Y'all
check
have
all
asked,
of
so
it
we
out.
finally answered.
Mm-hmm.
Just go to truecrimesquad.com and there's a link right there. You can just click right on it. It takes you right to the merch store.
Yep. Yep. We are super, super excited about all of it. So go and check it out for sure.
Hmm.
Well, guys, that's what we've got. We'll see you back at 7 for case updates. And of course, we'll be back next week with all new material. But don't also forget to check out Patreon. We had two brand new
Yes.
Patreons come out on Monday night. And of course, Patreon is a great way to support us, kind of be a part of the inner squad if you would like to be. You can find that over at truecrimesquad.com or just go over to Patreon and look for the True Crime Squad and you'll find it there. So,
Hmm. Yes, you will.
thanks so much for being here, you guys. Please take good care of yourselves. You know you deserve
Hmm.
that. This has been yet another production of the True Crime Squad.
Bye, everybody.